The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.
This is Jeffrey Durham, and I used to be called the Great Soprendo, and I'm listening to Alex Belfield. And if you want to know how Alex Belfield got this job, I've got 3 words for you. Piff, paff, puff.
Alex Belfield.
And you know, sometimes you just get exhausted by this programme. I mean, I was sat here reading my PMT magazine, which is a monthly release, and one minute I'm by myself, the next minute I'm overtaken by 4 gorgeous, sexy, beautiful women who are clearly gagging for my body, and who can blame them? Loose women, how are you?
Oh, thank God for radio.
Thank you.
Let's start with Kaye Adams. I mean, she's a thinking man's Trisha, and the thing
I like that.
That's an oxymoron.
Well, moron. The thing I love about you is, are you really this nice that you think that people who go out and kill people should be shaken hands with by the Prime Minister and told you're a wonderful person?
Well, I don't think that, but I mean, I'm just I'm just taken aback at being called nice. I don't think I've ever been called nice in my life. No, I'm a good old-fashioned liberal, I would say. Yeah, and you've got to be. I mean, look at them, the hang 'em, flog 'em merchants. Somebody's got to provide a sense of balance. But no, I don't think it's niceness, but yeah, I am a good old pinko.
Next, we've got Denise Welch, who is star of obviously Coronation Street. You got this new thing on the BBC we'll talk about in a moment, and you're the kind of the sensible one, it seems to me. When I see you on that programme, you raise the level so high. I mean, just the other day I was hearing you talk about your piles.
I know. I have to say, I did sort of start getting a rash after I'd said that as well.
So did we?
Yeah. I know. Because obviously we have a morning discussion to discuss the topics, and I'd sort of flippantly said it, and then it just sort of came out. That's the thing, because when you're on a programme like this with your sort of mates, you do sometimes forget that you are on television, particularly live as it was on that particular show. Tim wasn't our happy, as I can tell you.
And next along the line is, well, I mean, if it wasn't for you, I don't think I'd be the man I am today. The gorgeous, sexy Coleen Nolan, how are you?
You've said enough and made my life, Alex. That's all you need to say. Just stop there and don't ruin it.
It's just vivacious. It's just so beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
The right one or the left one?
Is beautiful.
Go again.
We're going to talk about women's rights in a bit. And then finally, we have my kind of woman, Carol McGiffen. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Alex. Yeah.
And thank you so much for recording your late show tonight, because you do a radio show somewhere else and coming in live to this show.
That's right. I know. I'm all hot, aren't I?
And this must be all new to you, like computers and an audience. How's it going?
Oh, I can't stop laughing. No, it's going really well, thanks. It's good.
Do you do kind of the same as me? You just go on air and say what you think, and then afterwards get told off by the boss every day, or are you a bit more reserved on air?
No, there's absolutely no plan. I mean, on television, on radio, I never really think about what I'm going to say. You can probably tell that, because the words come out and then suddenly, oh, did I just say that? And everybody's looking at me as if to say, did you just say that? And I already have, so too late. But I think it's the best way to be.
The thing about this Loose Women programme, and I really do genuinely love it, that's why I wanted you in today, because it's kind of my breakfast show as well. I don't get up till late, and then I hear you ranting and raving, and it sets me up for the day, because it's probably the most honest programme in telly, isn't it, Kaye? You've got to kind of hold it all together.
Well, yeah, I think it is refreshingly honest, and it's probably got more so as we've got more used to each other and the programme's gone on, and it is that kind of thing that we don't forget about the audience, but we kind of focus on ourselves. And I mean, the morning meetings are very, very like the actual programme. Now, when we first started doing this show, they were quite different, because you started to sort of, you edited yourself, but we've kind of stopped doing that a little bit more. But in terms of holding it together, I mean, we are very much a team, and I would love to take the credit for holding it together, but I think we all kind of know our movements, and I give Colleen's wee left breast a wee tweak. She knows that means to say a bit more or a bit less. We've got our little signals there, and it works for us.
We've got our boundaries as well. We know how far we can go with each other. There's no limit. There's nothing we can say to each other that would yes, exactly, nothing at all. So it's quite jolly in that way.
You see, that's quite rare, isn't it, in TV and in radio or the media, because everybody's jealous of everybody else. I suppose you've all got to really get on, or there would be that kind kind of tension.
I think it would be a horrible programme to watch if there was that real sort of tension, wouldn't it? I mean, well, you hear about it in like Desperate Housewives and stuff like that. I know that's an acting job, but that actually they all hate each other.
And they are all beautiful.
And, well, that's the difference as well, isn't it? But,
as opposed to just you being beautiful on our show.
But a live show, you couldn't do that, I don't think. It would come out, wouldn't it? You'd just start to see that needle.
Yeah, but it's different though, because, you know, there's no jealousy between us because we're all past it, we're all finished, we're all old, and we don't really care. So, you know, we can say what we like. You know, there's no competition as far as looks go, is there, girls?
No.
Bless them.
Speak for yourself.
As far as breast goes, I win.
You're way out in front, aren't you?
way out in front.
It is like Radio Nursing Home today, as you say. You're all kind of superior women in more ways than one, in age and in talent.
You're losing it, Alex.
Yeah, losing it now.
My favourite of all, of course, is Coleen Nolan, who has beautiful assets. And the thing about this programme, Coleen, is it's live and you say what you think and you get in trouble for it, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I've been accused of maybe saying things to generate publicity or whatever. And I wish I was that intelligent and that clever to think that way, but I don't. And my problem is that I say things on a live show and think about it afterwards and go, oh my God, or my phone is going nuts with people, family normally, trying to get through. So I do say what I genuinely feel.
But you are remarkable, Coleen. Like this morning, I can't remember what we were talking about, but you said something or other, and I said in the morning meeting, so can you say that on the show? And you looked at me as if I was mad, and I was actually thinking, I don't know if she should for her own sake. And she goes, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Well, I do.
Right,
well, because if it's something I truly believe in and something I feel, or something that has happened, then I think, well, yeah, I can, because that's how it is, you know.
That is the problem with live, though, isn't it? There's no going back. There's no taking it back.
You and I do talk about our families and our partners very openly, perhaps a bit too openly for them sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, it's hard on the partners.
Yeah.
You see, I really don't give a lot away personally about my life on air, because
like Kaye.
I don't blame you, because I don't want to give away that side on me. I mean, I joke I've got a wife called Formaldehyde and I've got a producer called Tarquin and all these different characters. But the stuff you give away, I would slap you in the face. The stuff
I quite like that.
Have you told people you're ginger?
Now, don't start on me, Mrs. Replacement for Vanessa. I mean,
no, it's just if Carol hadn't noticed because her eyes aren't so good, you know, you'd have to be careful.
I had noticed. I was keeping my distance.
I think we ought to leave Gingers and Carol
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
way alone. I want to go through a few subjects. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and go through a few things that's in the news, because I don't agree with a lot of your opinions, but you're entitled to them, and you seem to vent them openly on your programme. So we're going to come back and do that, and then we'll find out what comes next after this. You all seem very happy.
Definitely, but we were actually joking about this today. If it's not going to happen, but if we were still doing this show in, like, say, 20 years' time, and we'd all gone completely senile, it would just be really funny, wouldn't it?
20 years away.
We'd all be going, what? What was that? What?
You see, some critics would say you'd already got there.
I know.
But
we
not
set
me.
that up for you.
Back next with the Loose Women at Capital Gold.
When I say 4 of my favourite people, there's a 5th that I haven't mentioned so far from Loose Women, Jay McDonald.
Lovely Jay. I said, Jay. That's all Jay never said.
She does say, my fan base.
What about my fans? I can't say that because of my fans.
He's flattened some grass. Anyone get any Charlie cakes? Or a buttered balm?
She's got beautifully big lungs, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's got a fine pair of lungs. She really has. Yeah, not as fine as Colleen's, but they are very
she
fine.
She is lovely, Jane.
You can't beat it, can you? Right, let's go through a few subjects. And equality's been in the news recently between men and women, and we were talking about this on the show last night. I don't understand the fact that women now are downtrodden. For women in show business, are you paid less than men who are doing the equal job to you?
I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is you can't deny the facts. And I mean, there's a great deal of research been done on this, and statistics are there that women are paid across the board appreciably worse than men. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter about us because we're reasonably lucky what we do. But if you're a cleaner working 60 hours a week, slogging your guts out, and you're still getting 20% less than the guy next to you, then it really does matter.
I don't think it does. I think it matters. But
the facts of it, it's like Carol says, I know some people die of smoking, but I don't think they really do. The evidence is there. And
I never said that.
You more or less see things like that.
No, I didn't. I said that not everybody dies of smoking when they smoke. That's what. Anyway, going back to the money thing, you know, women. This survey was actually saying that.
Colleen,
that
can we talk about your breasts again? Just carry on. You just carry on. Look,
you earn in excess of hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Carol,
in the
this may be a new idea to you, but I've got ratings ratings to think about. You know, this... All right, you bring up smoking, and here's another thing that I'm going to talk about and have talked about. Pregnant women that smoke. Now, Kate Galloway has been in the papers over the weekend, and I just think she's the dippiest tart in the world. A, because of her position, but B, being 8.5 months pregnant and sticking a cancer stick in your gob. How irresponsible is she on a scale of 1 to 10? Anybody wish to comment?
Yeah, I'll comment.
Go on, love.
She is irresponsible, and so was I, and I hold my hand up. And, I'm not proud that I smoked when I was pregnant, but I found it very difficult to stop. Now, apparently, Kate has basically stopped and just had a lapse, so she's done better than I did.
She was silly to have a lapse in her car.
She was silly to have a lapse in her car, but, you don't always remember that the paparazzi are around.
As persecuted as she was by the press.
But there's
I think
people
it was
out there that
totally
drink
out
and
of
take
proportion.
drugs when they're pregnant. And at the moment, it's smoke police, isn't it? It's the smoking police are really into smokers.
Well, we allow people to drink for 24 hours at the same time as banning
Nobody
smoking.
drinks for 24 hours. Crime is down since they relaxed the
and we
licensing
know you've
laws.
given up now, but
you can't.
Was a time.
You can't make excuses and do other things. I cannot support what she did. I mean, I have to agree with you on that one. And you've said it yourself, Carol. You've been a smoker. I've never been a smoker, but you have been a smoker. And when you hear Coleen say, "Oh, I'm an addict" or whatever, you say, "No, you can give up if you really want to." And you've got the best incentive in the world, which is
when
the
you're
healthy your
pregnant,
unborn child. So you've got to get it together.
Can I clarify this point? Do you actually know that smoking is bad for you without question?
Yes, absolutely it's bad for you. It's a very, very stupid, dumb thing to do. I'm not denying that. That's why I don't smoke anymore. I think it's disgusting. It's a waste of money. It's dumb in the sense you pay too much tax. It's dumb, it makes you feel
Surely
ill.
that's nothing to do with it.
Yes, but the thing is... No, hang on a minute. But I stick up for people who do smoke because
Why?
they enjoy it. They know that it's bad for them as well.
But I might
why
enjoy
do you-
taking my clothes off and walking down Leicester
Just
Square. I
because
can't get away with
just
it.
because you don't like what they're doing, who are you to tell them not to do it?
Drinking to excess. I can't bear it. I'm almost phobic about it. Now, when I go out to a pub at the weekend, okay, I smoke or whatever.
What, and your boyfriend gets totally pissed?
Yeah, or somebody else gets totally inebriated.
It's all right. We're in enough trouble already. We've said piles 4 times, so I shouldn't worry about piss.
But you'll find that a lot of the trouble on a Saturday night is very much drink related, and our police force are all out there piling loads of drunks
But you
into
see,
a van,
drink-
beating innocent people up, getting into cars.
How do you do this,
Killing
Kate?
people.
We're discussing smoking, so discuss smoking in its own merits. There's no point in trying to get out of it saying, "Oh yeah, well I know it's bad, but this is even worse."
As a smoker,
You've got
there is. You have to defend yourself. But everyone's like, "That isn't as bad. You're a smoker. You're disgusting."
But I'm defending you. I'm saying that smokers should be allowed to smoke. I'm absolutely sticking up for smokers' rights here.
Yeah, so
And
let's
I don't even
celebrate
smoke.
the right to kill yourself.
You don't definitely die if you smoke.
Let me ask you this question. If you'll agree in somewhere in that mind of yours that it's very bad for you...
It is, I
right,
know
okay,
that.
great. So then you'd make the decision to make a baby. A child is far more susceptible to that nicotine because it hasn't got the resistance we have. Surely that's child abuse. If you had a child and it was born and you hit it over the head, what's the difference between doing that?
Kate Galloway is
It's
an
a very-
adult.
It's also a very addictive drug, and I don't think Kate Galloway has given up for most of her pregnancy. My doctor told me that maybe a couple of cigarettes now and again during pregnancy, if it is going to make you so stressed that you can't cope, is very unlikely to harm the baby. Yes, smoking 20 a day through pregnancy will, but she has given up. She succumbed through the stresses of trying to work and have the baby, and she did it in a public place, and I don't think her baby will be harmed in any way.
Not to pile the agony on old Coleen over there, but I mean, Coleen said that she smoked all the way through.
She did, and she knows it was wrong to do it, but she found it very difficult to stop. I tend to be halfway between Carol and Coleen.
But
I think
you
you
said
could have
it-
tried harder.
You like
think
everyone
you can
else,
all
takes the
just go
medical
shut your
profession
face.
at face value, and you absolutely don't. Nobody ever questions it. You just said if you smoke while you're pregnant, you will affect the baby. You definitely will. You won't definitely affect it.
Are you qualified to say that the baby will not be affected by the mother smoking?
Not definitely.
Right.
I would look.
You've got
my
the-
mum
you've got the
smoked.
statistics to
My mum
prove that.
smoked. Look, there are lots of people who smoke all the way through pregnancy. Not all of those babies are underweight. They're not affected.
So
they've
no,
got
but for the
women-
children
but
who
the
are
chances-
affected, that is really going to give them a lot of solace, isn't it?
Yeah, but
and
I'm just questioning things rather than just taking everything at face value.
If it's a couple now and again, some people get incredibly tense and stressful, which is also bad for the baby.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is absolute The medical advice is utterly unequivocal. Smoking is very, very bad for you. It costs us absolutely millions in terms of the health service, and to impose your indulgence on an unborn child is wrong. And the point that Alex took, which was how do you define child abuse before or after birth, it's a very, very moot point. And to say I am just questioning, I mean, you could question absolutely everything.
That's what I do.
If that bus runs into you, it will kill you. Well, I'll question it. I'll just go out there and try it. What's the bloody point?
Though.
Oh, Cal, that's
everybody
We on very well till we came on your show. We were just saying how close we were. We never fall out, and you've ruined a beautiful friendship.
Do you know what I need to know? All I need to know, and I need to lie down, by the way, is what does that editor or producer say in your ears to make you shut up so we can take a commercial break and make some money?
It says 30 seconds to the break.
Right, 30 seconds, squabble amongst yourselves, and then we'll go and have a lie down. I've got another 16 subjects here. We've done 9 minutes on that. Anyway, Carol, all I'd like to say to you is...
Thank you for your uninformed opinion.
We're back with our remaining moments with the Loose Women, and I really... I'm wondering at this point whether it was worth it. I mean, you've come in, you were a beautiful unit together, working hard, and now you're falling out, pulling each other's hair. I've got a final question for you, and I want to go along the line because I'm an ugly, fat, ginger man. I know the truth, Coleen. I know the reality of what I am.
No, you're not.
No,
fat.
no.
I was just thinking he was rather handsome.
I don't want pity. No, Kate, really, I don't. But I'm a man who needs to get laid. I really am. Honestly, I'm a man that has needs. How do you get a woman's interest today? Because I don't understand. I have tried with all types of women, professional women, dirty little slappers. Oh, no, can't say that word. How do you get women to pay attention to you these days? What do you want from me?
Well, with somebody like me, you just come up and go, do you fancy it, love? And I go, yeah,
Really?
all right, come on. Let's go.
All right, let's try it. So I come up to you and, well, hello. Hi, Coleen. Is that
no,
voice?
that's crap.
Right,
Because,
okay, right.
then I would say, look, cut the crap. Do you want to get laid or not?
Right,
basically.
okay, right. Well, I mean, like maybe a bit of Dale Winton or something. Hello, sweetheart. Like, no?
No, it's not going to do it.
So just regular voice.
Yeah.
Hello, Coleen.
Yeah.
Lovely pair of tits. Fancy a bit of the other.
Absolutely. You'll have got me
Great,
straight
right.
away.
Next, Denise, how would I attract a lady like
Well,
yourself?
it wouldn't be that dissimilar as most people know with me, really. Pretty much the same approach as with Coleen, but not the slaver. Where do you think you're going wrong then, Alex? What would be your normal chat up?
I think people just find me physically repulsive.
Oh, no.
I mean, I was thinking
Don't be so ridiculous.
I was thinking of being gay. I really was, but I couldn't be turned down by both sexes. I mean, it is that bad. Even gay people wouldn't fancy me. What does a man do other than pay for it?
That's an option, I suppose. I mean, that would work with me.
So just a Gucci handbag or something.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. Not Gucci. I don't think that's a bit déclassé. No, I just want
give it
conversation.
Bit of conversation, bit of humour.
Yeah, let's be honest. I think you're a good-looking bloke. I do. Honestly.
I like I'm going off you now, Coleen.
Yes, he's handsome and
much easier than she is.
Well,
Yeah, but
can't
there's a
have
guy at
everything.
Matthew's school who's become the massive heartthrob, and they call him the FGG, which is the fit ginger guy.
Oh, is that
You see, I was the FGG, the fat ginger guy. It was never going to work, was it?
Women like to talk, and men don't talk enough. So if you talk to a woman, and even better, if you can bear to listen to her, even if you're just putting it on and going la 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 la, that'll work, I think. Don't you think?
Cut the crap and get on
Nobody
with it.
really
What
wants
do you
to have
think?
a chat.
But you see, I'm a professional communicator, and I've got 4 of my favourite people in the studio, and even my eyes were glazing over during that last 7-minute bit where you lot were just talking. It was just like la la la. I mean, what happens to a guy's brain?
Well, you
There's
wouldn't be
no
trying to
hope for
pull
you
the
then,
four
is
of
there?
us
There's
at once.
so you can't listen to us. You can't listen to anyone. You're never going to get laid, are you?
I don't know, it's pathetic. I just want to go through a few other things that I don't understand. My big issue is women forgiving men for things. Right, the big one for me in the last few weeks on my show has been Mark Oden. I cannot for the life of me understand what his wife is thinking. Is she clinically insane to take a man back that likes to take pleasures from men? That man's gay. I'm sorry, if you're going to sleep with rent boys for 6 months, you're gay.
Yes.
Let's start this then, Kaye.
Yeah, but there are other things to a relationship. They've been together for 14 years, been married for 14 years. They have 2 children. They obviously share a love for each other and a companionship for each other. And I'm not saying it's absolutely ideal, because you want everything in a marriage. You want the love, you want the sex, you want everything. But sometimes people settle for 7 or 8 out of 10.
Okay, right, let me ask you an honest question. If you found out your husband was shitting 2 blokes and paying for it and doing obscene acts, we're not just talking a bit of the old ooh.
In whose opinion are they obscene? Maybe you'd get laid if you're a bit more open-minded, Alex.
All right then, so do we think
It's
you
not
know
very
that-
nice, is
is
it?
that
It's
definitely
actually
what
called,
happened?
you know, if you want the posh word, it's coprophilia.
Oh,
Just to throw it in, you know.
attractive.
What is she talking about?
People.
Oh, really?
Coprophilia, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a great conversation opener.
Hey, I agree with you on this one. I
Not
don't know
happy
where
with
she's
that.
coming from either. I could not.
It depends
I
on
just
the
wouldn't stay
quality
with
of
a
your
man.
relationship
If I
before
knew-
that.
I
See-
couldn't.
No,
if my other
I'm
half
sorry.
went out and slept with a man, I couldn't have him back.
You've got to
because I would
decide
know
which
he
way
was
you want to
gay.
go.
You see, I appreciate your middle ground and your journalistic instincts going, oh, well, you know, there's more to a relationship. I couldn't look a partner in the eye. I don't think that had even gone with a different sex partner, let alone two of the same sex, when he's got kids.
I'm with you. I agree with you on this
We
one.
found middle ground here.
Totally, exactly.
You know what? Screw this, Mike Elliott. Me and you,
Come
this is the
on,
future.
Let's do it.
Kay, seriously, I mean, this is what bothers me about you on the show. Are you really serious that you believe that you wouldn't have a problem? You could settle for 7 out of 10?
No, I think it would be the most traumatic thing to go. But I think in all sorts of ways, lots of us settle for 7 out of 10 in relationships when, you know, they become more established and gone along. Okay, that is a particular...
It's an extreme, isn't it?
You know, example. And I'm not saying that I could cope with it, but I think you have to open yourself to the possibility that you could. And the 7+ points they have in their relationship may be that great. And I would like to meet the person who has got a 10 out of 10 14-year relationship. Because I don't think they exist.
What marriage is it, though?
I suppose, Mark, I mean, he'll be good at interior decorating.
He'll
have
go shopping.
A lot of ABBA and Dusty Springfield and Jane McDonald on CDs,
Yes,
won't he? I mean,
absolutely.
what more
Well,
could you do?
actually, how many women say after a kind of long-term marriage that they would love to, you know, either set up home with a woman or with their best gay friend because life would be much more harmonious? You know, I would rather have Mark Oaten, if he was a nice, sensitive chap, and block out what his extracurricular pursuits were, than some bloody big brute who sat in the corner scratching his balls and slapping me over
Yes,
the
but there's
head.
some-
And there's a hell of a lot of women settle for that.
You don't mean that. You don't,
I absolutely
you don't
do.
mean that.
I absolutely
There's
do.
a great big difference between someone who was your husband, who you slept with for many, many years, and your gay best friend who you've never slept with, and your husband then suddenly becoming gay. It's a totally different matter.
No, I'm
I
just
can
saying that's the
understand
7
setting up-
out of 10. So Denise and
Yeah,
Coleen
but
are leaving the
it's-
studio now.
Denise, let me come to you because you seem to be the sensible one. I think
Oh, of
Kay's
course,
clearly
of
lost her
course.
conkers over there, and Carol's Carol. Could you forgive and forget?
Well, yes. I mean, I think it's very easy for people to say that they wouldn't forgive infidelity until it happens. And I think I'd certainly take Kay's point about the 7 out of 10. I think there is much more to marriage than fidelity. I don't mean serial infidelity, but I think that it is possible to move on from that. And but however, in this particular case, I think I would find it very hard. I think regardless of how of what was actually going on in that gay relationship, I think the fact that he is quite obviously gay, and I don't care what Mark Oaten has said to his wife, he will have some other gay relationship at some point, I would believe, and it's how that's going to affect the children. I don't believe it, and I think she will be living a very stressful life as a result of taking him back.
To me, it's the same theory as a paedophile. Once a paedophile, always a paedophile. Once
Well,
a
being
man's...
gay is not like being a paedophile.
No, that wasn't my
Being a
point.
paedophile.
You didn't let me. Hang on, you didn't let me finish my point. You see, this is where women get it wrong. You jumped in too quick. My point was a paedophile. A gay man, a gay man, a gay man. Not a gay man, a married man, then going back to being straight. If
No,
you-
I agree with you again.
But
I do agree
I
with
see
you.
what you're saying, but I do think it's very dangerous to use that as the analogy.
I didn't just say that gays are paedophiles.
Yeah, but you could have chosen another analogy.
What's a better analogy?
A ginger's a ginger's a ginger.
So tempted to slap her in the face. I mean, I loved you up to this point.
I'm just trying to sort of be
See, she's
something
not
else
nice.
for you.
I could have told you she wasn't nice.
I beg the presswoman to give me Jay McDonald, and they send me Kaye Adams. Well, Coleen, very finally, could you forgive and forget?
No, not in this instance. I could forgive and forget infidelity, which I have at some point, but I couldn't forgive or forget the fact that he'd gone off with another man, because to me, I would then say, well, he's gay. And now I've got to worry about whether he runs off with a woman or a man. And I couldn't live like that.
But I mean, you were in the Nolans. You must have slept with some men that were gay.
Possibly.
Listen.
But were we fussy?
It's been a real pleasure meeting you all. I really love you. And anytime you want to come on, obviously, Carol, I really appreciate you recording your radio show tonight. And let's face it, you've had more fun on here, really, haven't you?
Well, you know.
50-50.
And Kay, I genuinely mean this. You're one of the most personable journalists, because journalists, A, don't have a sense of humour. This is why I hate them. They're the burden of my life. They sit up
agree.
there, they don't have a sense of humour. Unless it's written down, they can't say it. You're a journalist that is brilliant in that. You talk a load of crap most of the time. But having said that, you're still a good-looking woman. If you fancy me, then that's more than I normally
You're
get.
very handsome, I do.
Oh, well, you know my number. And Carol, good luck with your radio show, because Christ, you're going to need it.
Thanks a lot. You're so sweet.
Mike's
Alex.
a lovely, lovely man, and I give you 3 months. And
You're nasty.
I'm not. This is a woman who married Chris Evans. I don't think I could be
is
nasty.
true,
I haven't
yeah.
even mentioned it once. Denise, what you did for me behind that bar, I mean, the way you pulled those pumps, there was
Really?
something more. Yeah, it was much the same as when I was sat there with Colleen's laminated photos. You know,
Pulling my pump,
Thank
pulling
you,
his own
darling.
pumps.
Pulling his own.
There you are.
Absolutely.
I set it up and you took it.
Yeah,
Colleen,
always.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
I have nothing more to say. Ladies, what a pleasure, and thank you for coming on the Late
Thank
Night
you for
Revolution.
having us.
Which
Philly.
radio station are you on, by the way?
Go away.
Thank you.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.